soy el fuego que...
Hey everybody, welcome back to your Real Estate Sensei show. Sandra Schlapitz with Coastal Lux Group, EXP. I have here a great friend of mine and a speaker, Robert Diaz. He is the branch manager of Primary Residential Mortgage. And hi, Robert.
Hey there. Hey there. Hi, Sandra.
How are you
Hi,
today?
people. I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking.
I'm very glad to have you in the show. And I would like to if you can tell me a little bit about you and your company.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And thank you for so many years of partnership and friendship, both. I appreciate you very much. Then you said my name. I'm Robert Diaz. I happen to be the branch manager for the Cape Coral office for Primary Residential Mortgage. Been with the company for over 7 years already, and very happy to be part of it. Big family, great place to be.
So tell us how, and I know I have your phone number and your email in the banner, but tell us how people will get a hold of you.
Best way to reach me is direct cell phone, 239-910-8582. They can also text me. I can also receive emails, rds@primerest.com. My team and myself are available, regardless of the hour. We're just here to help people. Anything we can do for you, feel free to reach out. We're here to help.
Great, thank you very much. Robert, tell me, how important is the communication between the real estate agent and the mortgage broker?
Just picture a situation in which you're not able to find out if your borrower qualifies or not, buyer in your case. You need to be in constant contact with us. You need to know what's going on. These are challenging days. This is a very challenging market. And you do need to make sure that when you're making an offer, it's going to go through. You can go back and say, hey, they didn't qualify 5 days into the picture because we didn't see the numbers, because we didn't see what was going on. Communication between agent has to be 100% at all times, okay? It is very important, and I can stress to agents how important it is to make sure that they have good contact with their loan officer, the financing, and the same thing for the borrowers. They need to know what's going on, and the information has to be available, and it has to be right away, readily available, basically.
Now, would you say that a person, a customer, the client directly, will be able to self-analysis if they can qualify for a loan before they go to you or to the real estate agent?
Well, it's very simple, okay? Nowadays with the internet, all of the information is available. I do teach a class at times to agents in which I tell them that individuals have any information, all of the information that they need to qualify for a mortgage in their cell phones nowadays. We do have those websites and those applications that do provide information about credit reports, meaning that in there they're going to have the ability to find out what their minimum payments on credit cards and installment payments are, car payments, student loans, and those things. They also have another application that is going to tell them what their income is like if they don't know it. And with that, you don't need any more than that. It's just a percentage. How much can I afford out of my income for housing? And then it's really easy for people to interpret, to relate actually what a mortgage payment would be on any amount with another application. Okay, so it is very easy nowadays for someone to say, this is how much I can afford. Very simple.
So would you say that as a real estate agent should at least kind of screen the buyer with some key questions to know if they can qualify for a loan?
It's so simple. And yes, it has to be done. I always, joke around when I'm teaching that class about the 2 3 real estate agents at a gathering on a Sunday afternoon without a loan officer available to take the phone call. The one that knows how to do this is going to be the one that's going to be able to secure that prospect, that possible buyer, and close it in 30 days. So it is very simple. I encourage every agent to learn how to do it. And it's buyers, they do need to know ahead of the game, not only what do I qualify for, but also something very important. How do I improve my situation? How can I increase my score for a better rate? How do I stay within the right percentage of expenses so that I can have a better rate and possibly better mortgage insurance per se? So it's not that complex. Okay, all of this information is online, and people should do the research before saying, I'm here to buy a house. It is simple. We're here to help, of course. Okay, but yes, real estate agents should know how to do, I'm going to say, a soft prequel on a prospect at any given point.
And I know that you offer those classes, and we did it once here in the
Mhm.
office. And would you say that any real estate company can reach out to you and you will be happy to offer that to them as well?
For sure. This is what I'm here for. I've done it for many years in the area. I love what I do. I love being able to have a team that has the same passion that I have about what we do. We're all about customer service. And yeah, we're here to help. I would love to hear from anyone who needs a mortgage out there.
So, what would you say that is the credit score for someone that is ready to buy?
That's a big question. Okay. Um, we don't like to deter people by telling them you need this score in order to obtain financing. It just doesn't work like that. People even have tools to improve their scores in their pockets. All of these applications, all of these websites tell people this is what you have to do so that you can get your score to this point. We have the tools ourselves. Um, don't you think that because you're not that 580 or it goes down to 500 per guideline, you can get a mortgage. We're here to help you with that. We're not a credit report company, meaning we don't repair credit, but we do have the ability to tell people this is what you have to do so that you can put yourself in the optimal situation to get a mortgage. And we not only do it with people when they're not where they have to be to get a mortgage. Okay, we also do it with those that um, apply and their score is not where it has to be for them to get a very good rate. Okay, let's not forget that the lower the score, the higher the rate. So we don't have a problem. In fact, this is common practice. This is what we do in the office. We tell people, and by the way, if you do this and that, we're going to be able to improve your rate. They do it, we repull credit, and we end up giving them not only a better rate, but also at times better mortgage insurance and therefore a better payment.
That is really great opportunity
Mhm.
to be able to play with
Oh,
that,
yeah.
what a buyer will come and what options they will have to really say, okay, I do have to improve my credit, what it will help me to be my rate lower. And
Mhm.
I think that is amazing that it's possible that you will be able to help them with that. With that.
We, I don't think that as professionals we can afford to be in the business of saying no. We sit down with people and we tell them maybe not now, maybe not this second, but if you do this and this and this, you will be able to obtain financing. At times it takes a year, but with the right coaching, the right information, and the perfect hand holding, I'm going to call it, which we do, they end up financing. They end up getting what they need. So we don't tell people no. We tell people possibly not now, but if we do this and that as a team, then you become financial. and it
Great.
happens all the time. Yeah.
That is great. What will be for you one of the lowest rates that you can close? Obviously, I'm sorry, no rates, credit score.
Mhm.
I heard that if you have a good down payment, you might be able to close with this lower score. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, technically, you should be able to close an FHA loan with a higher down payment. Not the minimum down payment, with a 500 score. Okay.
Wow.
We also have the ability to manually underwrite these loans. Let's not forget something that, and this goes back to the many years that I've done this. Why not lend money to someone that has gone through a bad situation and their score was affected by a personal issue? Okay. Why punish someone that was acting responsibly for their entire lives, and then something happened to them, to this individual? Why not look into it and say, hey, this happened to this person because of an isolated circumstance, and why not give that person a chance? Why not deal with a credit report that's damaged by medical bills? Okay. um, Issues of that nature. So there is always the exception to the rule. Okay. um, there is always that exception that we can request under the right circumstances. Let's think out of the box a little bit, and be more aggressive about structuring these deals with a little bit of I don't know, I'm gonna call it heart or conscience. Let's do the right thing for someone that has gone through a bad situation. Okay, that they might not be part of that group of people that are just not responsible with their payments, and they shouldn't be punished. So it's about making sense out of these deals, and looking at each one of them as a different file, as a different situation, as a different family, as a different individual, and putting the time into it to turn it into someone or something, that financing, to turn it into a deal, to turn it into a loan.
That's great. Now, if you get a pre-approval, what does it mean getting a pre-approval? What happens next? What are the do's, the don'ts? Because I heard a
Mhm.
lot of things can happen.
Okay, so getting a pre-approval from a responsible lender means that they looked at the three different aspects of a transaction. They looked at credit, they looked at income, and they looked at um, assets. All of those things were looked at combined, and it turns into a certificate, what we call the approval. It could be out of a system, a computerized system, or it could be an opinion of an underwriter. It could be manually underwritten as well. Not before then should a letter be extended. Okay. Um, we also believe in staying close to people and speaking to them and finding out the whys, or the what happened into the credit report, into the employment history. We look at those things as well. Um, Also, we coach them. We tell them those do's and don'ts, basically. Do as much as you can to stay employed. That's for sure. You lose your job, you're not financeable anymore. Um, do not obtain any additional financing. That can mess up your ability to stay approved for this amount of money. Um, Pay your bills on time, of course. Do not mess up your credit. Um, what else?
Don't buy anything.
And don't buy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do not overextend your expenses, and don't spend the money that you're gonna use for this down payment. I always joke around by telling them, you first buy the garage and then the car. Don't go buy a car, please. Don't go furniture shopping. Let's find all this, and then you can do whatever, of course, responsibly with your credit, and understanding that there is a mortgage payment. This is how much your housing is going to be. And then after that, don't overextend yourself, basically, not before and not after. Do the right thing, um, act responsibly when it goes to finances.
And I think it's the communication, as you say, and it comes hand to hand between the mortgage broker and the realtor. Because I had a I had a client that bought furniture a day before, but they did
we
that
we
credit.
we have called people that are in the dealership on a Sunday, and we have told them, do not buy that car if you want to close on this house. Because we go back to technology. We go back to technology. What we have to understand here is that we get alerted right away. The second they pull this credit, we get an alert. We get an email saying
Wow.
this individual is attempting to get financing. So yes, we have told people, do not buy that car. Do not sign those papers if you want to buy this house. It is that automatic. It happens automatically. And yes, and we've had people, return washers and dryers also. Everything happens. We try to coach people and to tell them this is what you're not supposed to do. But then they go through circumstances,
Yeah.
we try coaching them as much as we can. We, in fact, in our email that we send them with the approval letters, the congratulation emails, has an additional attachment saying this is what you should not be doing, and this is what you should be doing if you want to stay financial.
Wow, I
So
like
it's
that.
there. Yeah, we put it there.
It's good. I will like to have that letter to actually put in their folder where I
Okay.
give them the copy
We'll
of the
sh-
contract to
we,
make sure.
we will share that with you. And any
Okay,
agent that
great.
reaches out,
Yeah, and if
we will share
anybody
that.
that wants that letter, just text me or email me. We will provide that letter
Mhm.
for you to have it and know what are the do's and don'ts.
And don't, yes, very
That they are
important,
very
very important.
important. So I know that there is many kind of loans, but the major loans options will be the FHA and the conventional. So could you explain what is the difference between an FHA loan, conventional?
Well,
No
FHA,
difference.
yeah,
Explain.
okay. So basically, to pinpoint what it is, FHA, government insured, a little bit more aggressive when it goes to being okay with lesser okay credit, okay, and then again ability to repay, higher ratios, like a higher percentage of your income can be used towards housing and other expenses than unconventional loans. Conventional loans a little bit lower. um, I'm gonna say better mortgage insurance with the right score, okay. Let's not forget about VA, also great product for veterans. And then there is a lot more behind it. Let's not forget about the one-time constructions. Those are very, very hot nowadays, being that we're not seeing a lot of
Inventory.
existing properties on the market. So builders being very aggressive, this is a very good way for them to expand their cash flow by building with the borrower's money, as opposed to funding with their lines of credit. So many things. It's a fun being into lending is a fun career because it goes with the needs. This industry tends to change based on what we need, and that's what I like about it. It's challenging, and yeah, we can offer all of those loans. We have them all. We can go also out of the box a little bit for the right borrower and qualify them based on bank statements. For those investors, we can qualify them based on the rent on the subject property. So there are so many things out there that are out of the box and that are not the FHA, VA, conventional USDA that we play with. And I can say that we have plenty of programs, and we can think out of the box too.
Do you work with foreign investors?
We do work for foreign nationals, yes.
Foreign
We do have
nationals.
those programs, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great because I
Foreign
have a lot of
investors.
people that they ask about that. So it's good to know. Anybody
We
who needs that, contact
We
Robert.
had some challenges after the pandemic, and that program dried out completely. Some lenders were like, "We're not going to do this. We need to wait for the market to behave accordingly in order for us to take the risk of foreign investors. But they are back. We are able to do a foreign national, we call it, with very competitive rates. They just require a little bit more of down payment than what we call the U.S. person. But yes, we do have them.
Great, great. I know I don't want to go very detailed to all the programs, but and I don't want to get involved a little bit with immigration, but we do have the DACA receivers.
Mhm.
Can they get loans?
Okay, so let's not forget, and when it goes to the employment authorization documents, which is what we call it, it's a big amount of different employment authorizations that people can have to work in the United States. Um, but people do not understand the amount of employment authorizations that allow for financing, including government financing. Okay, they change as they behave. Like different administrations, different permits. They change. It is important that we know the DACA recipients were able to obtain conventional financing in the times that the government was saying no to those loans. So yes, we do them, okay, but we have been able to do it regardless of. But we do have a list. We stay updated as far as who's able to finance or not, and it is important that those real estate agents out there understand that we ask the right questions when it goes to that. We try to identify the type of um, EAD card they have. We look at the code, and we make sure that's someone that we can actually do financing for before issuing a letter. But there is a vast amount of employment authorization documents that are okay with government and conventional financing.
Wow, that's nice to know. That's great news. It's good
Yeah.
to know that. So after a person had been approved, found a home, and made an offer, what happens? And I have a contract, obviously, because right now it's so difficult to get a financial. What happens next?
They're a bit rare. Anyhow, so by then this individual had already completed an application on a to be determined property. At that point, we enter the property information into the system. Get estimate for taxes and look at the insurance if we have not looked at them on that Saturday, Sunday afternoon with the agent saying, hey, are they going to qualify for this specific property? It's very important that we know that. People think they qualify. We tend to think that people qualify for a mortgage amount. And no, you qualify for a mortgage payment. And every property is specific to to its taxes and insurances. So it is important that that is analyzed before an actual offer is made. So by then we plug in the numbers. We get numbers from the title company to make sure that that's also in there. An appraisal is requested. I'm gonna say the day after. Okay, it goes into process, and at that point it goes into the process of to get it to underwriting. Return times are very aggressive, being that we do have in-house underwriting. That's a plus. And we do not have a problem with in the event of having to have like a credit approval only. If we want to have a file being looked at without an actual contract, we have the ability to do that as well. If there's something in the file that we feel that might be an issue, we can have underwriting approval prior to. That's a possibility as well.
Yeah, and that is really very important for us, the real estate agents, to know that we can. Sometimes we get the letter, we say, oh, they qualify for that. We go ahead and look and find a condo that, first of all, is the amount of the loan,
Mhm.
but we didn't see how much are the taxes, what is the association, if
Yeah.
the association qualify for a
Mhm.
loan. And
Condo
there's
approval.
so many things to know that I think that's another training that
Mhm.
lenders should have for the real estate agents, and as the agent should educate
No.
ourselves with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, condos are a bit tricky when it goes to, I'm going to say different, okay? Because not only are we approving the borrower, but we do have to make sure that the condominium has the qualifications, only looking for the best interest of the borrower. We don't want them to buy a property that is not going to be solid enough to keep value. So it is important that people understand that not only they're not only the ones qualifying for the property, condos do have to be approved as well.
Yes, that's very important. So, what makes you and your company different?
I'm gonna say service. Our mentality is teamwork, service. We make sure that our borrowers and prospects that they feel welcome. Okay, it's a very family-oriented atmosphere. And yeah, service. We do go the extra mile, and we do go above and beyond. And people like that, and they keep on coming back, and
That's
we
good.
keep
And
on
they
getting
return you.
recommendations. Definitely, yeah. Very, very. Um, when I look at back at um, fathers bringing me their kids, to get a mortgage. It's not that I'm old, but probably started too early. But it's it's it gives me an extreme sense of pride to see that they trust me to the point of and my team. I do have to say I couldn't do anything without them. This is not a one man show. It can be like that. It doesn't work like that. But they come back to who we are, to how we treat people, and to the outstanding customer service. Nothing less than that. Not allowed in this office.
That's great. And you said also that you have an in-house underwriting, which is really very important to
Mhm.
answer all that.
Yeah, very
Um,
important. Very important to have the full operation, and within the same, you lose. And I don't want to put people at disadvantage by what I'm going to say, but it is very important to work with a bank lender that has all of the resources in house.
and you're
It's
local to, you're in Cape Coral, Fort Myers,
Mhm.
Naples, so
Yeah, I'm gonna say that nowadays,
you don't,
it
yeah,
doesn't matter where we are. I mean, look at you. You are in your office. I'm in my office. We have an outstanding state of the art website. A portal where people go in and they have the ability to complete a very user-friendly form. Okay, that becomes an approval. I'm sorry, it becomes an application on our end, and they can upload the documents that we need in there. That system has even the ability to retrieve bank statements from their bank if we get permission from them. It's very user friendly, and I can say that we are a lender for the state of Florida, not for Cape Coral, not for Naples, not for no. We can lend throughout the state.
that's another very important thing to let everybody know that you're a state like we are. We are
For sure,
state,
yeah.
but we have to know what we're selling.
And when it goes to PRMIing as a backup, like I couldn't ask for more. The PRMI family is outstanding. We're nationwide. Even if you want to give us a call about a loan anywhere throughout the states, but New York, we don't lend in New York. We will be more than happy to refer you to one of our, one of the other offices. The mentality is the same. The family ambience, the let's stay approachable um, mentality is it's nationwide. It goes with the brand, and that's why I feel so much at home here.
Well, I will have, our time was like, whoa, it flew. So I want,
I
I
could
want
talk.
to give you a big thank you
Thank you.
to be with us, Robert. This will not be the last one because we need to. I would love to do another one in Spanish because we do have Spanish speaking clients that they will
Yes.
like to hear exactly the same what you just said, and
Yo hablo
also
español.
agents that they will love to learn all what you have to teach them.
I am here to help you. I love doing this. I love sharing my knowledge and telling people how to do it and what can be done. And it gets it doesn't get old when when we keep on saying that we're helping people by doing our jobs. We're helping people make their dreams come true. It
Yes,
happened for my
exactly.
parents at a time, and it's happened for me, and that's what I like about this. Thank you so much, Sandra. I appreciate you inviting me. Okay, and I'll be more than happy to come back anytime.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You too. Bye now.
Bye.